Travis Hunter and his fiance?
Yes, I have. And I saw that comedian Godfrey had responded to the news that Travis Hunter was engaged and that it had been purported that his fiance had stated that he originally was not her type, but that he had, and I'm paraphrasing here, he had since that time won her over. And with them being engaged, it appears that marriage will be coming at some point in the future, and there didn't seem to be any conversation surrounding a prenuptial agreement. There had been rumors that Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, had tried to communicate with Travis Hunter that you might just want to slow down a little bit. Not to say that she's not a nice lady, not to say she's not the one, but you're moving kind of fast. I mean, I'm saying now, to be the number one football player in the country or number two, depending on how you rank him and Shedeur Sanders. And by the way, both of them are my two favorite college football players and will probably be my.
Oh man, that's a lot to unpack just there. I mean, honestly, it's so many things that will raise my flag if I was trying to give someone advice for the best course of action. Number one, if you can help it, if you can help it, look, circumstances happen. You do what you gotta do, but just the fact that you're a person's that you're not a person's type already should be something that you have to take into account. But then to be someone who's wealthy and having money, but not even willing to even protect yourself with something like a prenup, we see these types of things all the time, and they never end well.
Two favorite NFL players if they don't start bunny hopping. But anyhow,
Here we go.
you have not played an NFL game. You have not even been through the NFL draft. You have no idea of the type of women you're going to meet whenever you get to whatever team that you're going to play for. He's still a child. You've only been in Boulder, Colorado, and you've been in Jackson, Mississippi. Why not give yourself some time to explore life before you just jump the hoop with this woman? And I'm not going to say nothing against the young lady. She might be a nice young lady. Obviously, I have issues with it because I believe black men should be married to black women. And this looks like it's going to be another tragic tale of another multi-million-dollar black athlete who sooner or later is going to get divorced and his non-black wife is going to run off with all of his career earnings, as we've seen with so many other athletes, and continue to.
You mean so many other athletes where their black women wives, where their black wives leave them and take them for all their money and everything? I'm just saying.
See on a regular basis. So I'm not for it at all. But again, I'm not besmirching her character. I'm sure she's a fine young lady. But for him to be engaged already and for him to be about to get married and he doesn't even have a prenuptial agreement, are you out of your mind, Travis Hunter?
I think any man that gets married without a prenup is outside of his mind.
No disrespect to the young brother. I'm a fan. But bruh, slow this down. Put the marriage on ice. I need him to put that marriage on ice for about 2 or 3 years and don't have any children out of wedlock while that marriage is on ice. My fear, Art, is he's going to run into the queen of his dreams and it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. So I just think the brother moving too fast. So many of our black.
Look, this is just my thoughts, because if somebody's obviously willing to put in the effort to, if they're he's willing to put in the effort to try to win her over. I mean, how do you know she's not the woman of his dream? Just because you don't acknowledge interracial relationships doesn't mean that can't be his queen, Umar.
Like athletes, they run into these non-black women in college, and they just think that that's what their life is all about. She's the best thing since life bred, not to demean any woman of any culture, but we should be with our own women. And one thing I appreciate about Deion Sanders, although I'm still not happy with the move he made to Colorado, making all that money for a predominantly white college that does nothing for black people. But nonetheless, one thing I do respect about Coach Prime, you don't see his sons doing that. You don't see Shador and the other brother, the cornerback or the safety, the other Sanders. What's his name?
Shallow.
Shiloh Sanders. Shout out to Shiloh. Forgive me for forgetting your name there, young Prince. But you don't see Shador and Shiloh being all booed up with no girl in college. You notice that? You always see them by themselves. You don't see them. I've never seen any photo of either one of them, Shador or Shiloh, booed up with any.
But isn't that part of the problem that we have with black culture? I mean, not to go on a soliloquy or anything, but honestly, let's just be real. Let's just be real. If when you get into relationships younger, it's something like a marriage just might save you from or deter you. It might, not for sure, but it might deter you from actually being able to experience things that might in turn hinder you. For instance, if he's a young guy that's in college that values getting married, obviously to some degree he values being married. So maybe that might be a deterrent from women as distractions, from anything like that, because he only has that one committed distraction to worry about. So I'm just saying, I just find it real interesting when people always say, "Oh, you need to wait and explore your options." And I think that if a person is really committed to the duty and to the vows that they take, then I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but in theory, in theory, it would deter you and keep you out of a lot of things that perhaps may end up being to the detriment. So that's all I'm saying.
Girl, black or white, in college because they father not having that. Deion Sanders knows how this goes. He knows how women will try to hitch their cart to your wagon. You know, he knows how this goes. And I think he had to sit down with Shiloh and Shador and said, listen, y'all can have all the fun y'all want. You better be protecting yourself and you better not be getting booed up with no woman. You built this. We built this. If you're going to choose a woman, you're going to choose her with this head, not the other one. And so I appreciate Deion Sanders for not allowing his sons to fall into the same trap that it appears Travis Hunter has fallen into. You know, it's such a shame, so unfortunate to be that great and to still be a victim of the snow bunny crisis. It's just ridiculous.
Oh
Now, some people are saying she's mixed race. Some people are saying she got a black mom.
Why does that matter, man? I can't stand it. All these everything about Umar just always has to go down the route of race. And don't y'all get tired of it? Honestly, let's just be real. Don't you guys get tired of Umar just constantly just going on about race and all that stuff? Now, again, that's not to say that I don't agree with his point, because at the end of the day, it's true. Honestly, I think that he's absolutely right. I think, but I don't just deter that or just divide that towards black women. No, I absolutely 100% believe that any man that is getting married, whether you're rich now or whether you plan to be rich, if you don't plan to ever be anything in life, then yeah, don't get a prenup. But at the end of the day, if you want to try to be more in life, then you need to protect yourself. And like women, it can protect you too. I just believe I am pro prenups. I believe in prenups, and I think that it's just an intelligent thing to do. Anything else, you just playing with fire. That's just my opinion, though.